in the polls and ranked 4th in the RPI computations, which we are on the back end of the season, and everybody's working towards a run at playoff seedings and hopefully for them moving on and advancing to the Final Four, perhaps to Mile High. Everybody's got big plans. Columbine's opponent will be the Mullen Mustangs, 23rd in the RPI, currently 3-7 on the year, 2-2 within the Jefferson County League, or pardon me, the Centennial League. The story with the Mullen Mustangs under head coach Kevin O'Brien is they have front-loaded themselves a very aggressive schedule against nothing but elite programs. So that 3-7 may be misleading. Part of their story is that they are young and inexperienced, so they've been taking their lumps and growing throughout the course of the year. Coach Kevin O'Brien, his second year as the head coach for Mullen, looking to make a run in these last 5 games of 2017. They'll be taking on a very good opponent in Columbine under 8-year head coach Matt Plitnick. Let's take a pause for the national anthem. Enjoyed the national anthem here in Lakewood, 6th in Kipling on the west side of Denver, Colorado, getting ready for this battle between the Mullen Mustangs and the Columbine Rebels. Columbine ranks 6th in the state currently. Mullen building their program and their year and looking for a big rush the final 5 games of the season. I mentioned Kevin O'Brien as the head coach of the Mullen Mustangs, who will be wearing the blue jerseys this evening. Columbine Rebels under Matt Plitnick. Always enjoy games with Coach Plitnick and his program. Columbine, one Final Four appearance in their 8 years under head coach Matt Plitnick. Have an opportunity here with the kind of resume they've built in 2017. Maybe make a repeat run to the Final Four. First things first, as they have to get things done in the last half of the regular season. So you see at the center of the field right now, as we get that cross look to the east, programs meeting for the coin toss and discussion. In the white, that is the Columbine Rebels wearing the blue shorts and the dark blue lids. Mullen wearing the blue jerseys, white shorts, and the familiar golden helmets as we get ready to get underway. Meeting at the center X for the face-off, the Rebs and the Mustangs. Dylan Leinhart on the face-off for the Columbine Rebels. On the left side of that center line. Official being very deliberate, setting the ball down, and we're just about to get underway. As we now have, Leinhart pushes it forward. Ground ball situation eventually picked up by Andy Stash, and Columbine will have an opening possession to get this lacrosse game going here at Trailblazers Stadium. It's 62 degrees, overcast and cloudy. A little bit of drizzle off and on, but nothing coming down right now as you see Mullen advancing forward with Captain Aaron Boyd, who will set up the offense. So working right to left, and in the attacking zone are the Mullen Mustangs for Kevin O'Brien. Mustangs 3-7 on the year, 2-2 in the Centennial. And looking to put together a string of victories for a playoff invitation and good seeding. Better defense that time with Columbine, as you see the Rebels quickly cleared, and now the Rebels setting up on the near side there. That was 2-2 Nate Surd, and back up top, Nick Darrow looking for helper, and back to Surd. Both offenses being patient, as you see. Surd moving along that left wing. That shot long, and the Rebels are going to be nearest, and they'll keep it. Long pole defending, Captain Drake Gillis. The ball carrier, Gabe Mean. We will talk about Mean quite often, the future performer for the Utah Utes. There's a shot and a goal for the Columbine Rebels. Nick Darrow has scored at the 10:20 mark in the first quarter. So Mean works from that X position behind the cage, finds Darrow up top, and 4-0 goes high over the right shoulder of the goaltender, and able to find Twine, and a quick 1-0 lead for the Columbine Rebels. Shout to the dads in the stands, by the way. You'll be hearing them quite often through our crowd microphones. You'll also be hearing the voice of Devin Robb, really the voice of Jefferson County Athletics here on the west side of town. So Nick Darrow scores. Columbine with a 1-0 lead. And the win of the faceoff, picking it up, Andy Stash. That's twice now. Stash, after the faceoffs, and the ball's gone loose. It's been number 6, able to get possession of the ball. A Nick Darrow goal at 10:28, and a 1-0 lead for the Rebels. And the guys in white from Columbine again have possession of the ball. So the Mullen defense will pack it in and defend. Surd pushing the right slot. Nice battle with the defender, Aaron Boyd. Darrow working with it. And he's checked by the long pole, Drake Gillis. Mean across the way, inside, shot, goal, and that's another one for Nick Darrow. Take a look at that highlight. That's Darrow, dodge and gets to the inside, and then finds the inside of that left crossbar there. So the left pipe, he's to the inside of it, and Darrow's got 2 goals, and so does Columbine. 9:27 mark, first quarter, and a 2-0 lead for the Columbine Rebels. Again, Gail Kakak centers in on the face-off X. Leinhart pushed it back to Andreas Lucero, and the Rebels are going to have possession with a 2-0 lead here in the first quarter at Trailblazers Stadium in Lakewood, Colorado.
See, he comes in, see?
Thanks for joining us. We appreciate that. If you're within the state, part of the Lax community, or beyond the borders, just watching. Hi, Grandmama. Hello to Uncle Joe. I know that Coach Kevin O'Brien's family in Chicagoland are watching. We joked around that it's a good moment for him, too, being able to share his program with his family back home. That shot from Robert Miner, defended well. Mullen transitioning, attempting to clear. It's taken away. Nick Darrow has it again. Darrow, number 40, with 2 goals in this first quarter for the Columbine Rebels. The Rebels known for having multiple goal scorers, selfless play throughout the season. In this game, 1 guy, 2 goals. Nick Darrow, number 40. So a forced error there by the defensive Mullen. Tristan Scott gets it for a successful clear by Elijah Ruth. Ruth has it right now, and he's going to advance forward and eventually yield. Yes, back to Nate Hart. And Mullen's going to try to get some work done, down 2 goals. Good job by the Mustangs, reversing the ball around. And being very patient. Back up to Nate Hart. He works the Dodge left side. Good defense, Easton Hartman for Columbine. Ground ball eventually trickles out of bounds. And that'll be an empty possession for the Mullen Mustangs. And credit the defense of the Rebels. They switch personnel. As you see guys running onto the field in the white jerseys. David Dooley, 42. Right side of your screen is one of them, the junior midi. 2 goals by Nick Darrell. 2-0 lead Columbine Rebels. And the Rebs have possession. Dean Hives advances the ball lower. Gabe Mean shielding with the right shoulder, taking a few pops from Drake Gillis. Then back up top for the Rebels offense.
Come on. Get it around there. Let's go. Go.
There's a shot from up top, and that is saved nicely by Tristan Scott, the captain, known as Bear. So Bear has it right now. Looking for a D-man, eventually does. Good choice. Captain Aaron Boyd clears and gets across center line, and he'll advance forward. That's 11, the ball carrier, Aaron Boyd. Boyd, who will be playing for the DU Pioneers when he finishes up his senior season here in 2017. Johnny Groh working against Dean Hives. Looking for a shot. That's a bounce attempt and picked up nicely by the goaltender for Columbine, Gavin Beelman. Doing a real nice job. Coach Plitnick talking about Beelman, the junior, and his growth, becoming a leader on the squad. Not only making saves, but as you saw, starting to direct his D-men and his teammates once he does receive and save the ball. So a save by Beelman. Columbine has transitioned our broadcast back to the right side here. As you see the Rebels working again with a 2-0 lead. The Rebels in white have possession. 2 goals by Nick Darrow within about a minute of each other. At 10:28 and 9:27, Nick Darrow with 2 goals. The Rebels up 2-0, and they have the ball. Gabe Mean working with it, tried to center it. Looking for Minor. That was better defense on the part of Ethan Hart. So credit the freshman Mitty, who's coming off the field on the right side there, for doing a nice job disrupting that possession for the Rebels. And it leads to the Mullen Mustangs awaiting the go-ahead, and they receive it. They'll try to get up in the attacking zone. Helping each other out. Over to Bear, the goaltender, and then near side here, Aaron Boyd. Boyd looks pretty confident in getting it up into the opposing zone. That's Boyd right there, number 11, bouncing around. He lost Robert Minor for a moment, but help defense came. And there's a shot low,
Good block there.
mid-level, coming off the stick of Elijah Ruth, but eventually no threat to the goaltender for Columbine, Gavin Beelman. About 4 minutes left in the first quarter at Trailblazers Stadium in Lakewood. 2 West Side squads, which we like to point out. Mullen, common folk might think, private school Denver. Right now, they're on the west side of town. Columbine out here, technically Littleton, in the west suburbs. There's a lot of kids who go to Mullen along the foothills. Then these kids play club ball together, so they are all very familiar with each other. Not technically a conference game, but you could call it a regional game within the city. Both coaches acknowledge that. Kevin O'Brien said he's got a lot of Mullen players who are from way over towards the Hogbacks. Meanwhile, approaching the 3-minute mark in the first quarter, 2-0 lead. Columbine Rebels in white, and they have the ball. Comfortably reversing the ball with this 2-0 lead are the Rebels. Here comes a shot, and that's off. Good job, Zach Krause attacking the pole on the shot attempt from Patrick Stottlemyre. Rebels are going to keep it, though, as you see Gabe Mean working with it. He's going to try to roll, dodge, and boy, that was a tough angle. Saved nicely by Tristan Scott, the Bear. Attackman staying up and pressing the D-man, and eventually Bear gets it over to Drake Gillis. Now Mullen's going to push forward, down 2 goals in this game. About 2:20 left here in the first quarter in Lakewood. Plenty of time in the game. Better start for Columbine, obviously, as you can see on that beautiful score bug on the upper left-hand corner of your monitor. Mullen, final 5 games. They're in good shape to make a run at the playoffs. Nothing's guaranteed, but their strength of schedule with the ERPs, the RPI, that is much talked about. As you see that shot attempt, getting past Beelman and out of bounds. Mullen's going to keep it, but the key is Mullen has 5 games left. Coach O'Brien sharing that he thinks if they make 4 out of 5 in collecting victories in these final 5 contests, they'll be good to go, especially considering their insane schedule they've played so far this year. I run up and down the Mullen Mustangs opponents so far in the season, and I see Wheat Ridge, Kent Denver, Shap, Regis. You got the 2 California teams, Arapahoe. Yeah. Meanwhile, save Beelman, strong in the cage. And here comes Columbine again, protecting that 2-0 lead in the first quarter. Bringing it up, Nate Surd. Back across the way to Nick Darrow, has 2 goals in this game, the only 2 scores in the contest so far. Even 1 minute to play in the first quarter. And the Rebels with that 2-0 lead. Unforced error, an errant pass, mistimed jump, and that'll be a turnover. Mullen's going to have it right now, and quickly to go get it will be Aaron Boyd. Pushing it deep downfield, chasing it is Richie Connell, and he does not get there in time. And now the ball sails over the goaltender's head. You can hear some of the crowd reaction. So 2 consecutive turnovers, 1 each, and it results in Jack Berger as the ball carrier. Look at that, nice defense. Poke check away, nice. The long pole, Brock Harmon just poked it away from the ball carrier. That was pretty defensive work.
Hey, he's a big boy.
Good work for the junior defenseman, Brock Harmon. That's a pretty highlight for a defender. Meanwhile, Gabe Mean's going to work with it. Looks for center cutter. Can't make the connection to Stottlemyre. Ground ball eventually picked up by Drake Gillis, the future Colorado College Tiger. And now we hit zeros in the first quarter. So a pair of Nick Darrow goals has the Rebels up 2-0 here in Lakewood. Returning to the face-off X, Columbine and Mullen. A 2-0 game. A pair of Nick Darrow goals in the first quarter, very early in the opening period. The Rebels have a 2-0 lead. Columbine wearing the white, Mullen in the blue jerseys as you see that battle between the two face-off specialists. And we're going to give a win to Colin O'Brien, the captain, with good help by Dom Jablonski. But then a ground ball pickup for Columbine by Dylan Leinhardt. Now the Rebels have possession, and then a whistle blown and a violation. So Leinhardt, the huge freshman face-off specialist, gets whistled as he advanced behind the cage. And so Mullen has possession, crossing center line there. Watching Johnny Groh get back out to the field. He's calling for it. There's Groh, 32 for Mullen. What can the Mustangs get done for Kevin O'Brien and themselves as they look to get a big win against the number 6 team in the state? And there's a goal from the captain. Aaron Boyd has put one on the board for the Mullen Mustangs. There's a look at the highlight. That's all you. 1-1 Aaron Boyd, senior captain. There's a good, beautiful look from Gale. Aaron Boyd has been doing a lot of the little things throughout the course of this game as we're early on here. And that time he just put his head down and said, it's time for playmakers to make plays. And Aaron Boyd just did that for you on your screen. First goal of the game for Aaron Boyd. The first of the contest for the Mullen Mustangs. 11:05 mark. Aaron Boyd scores for Mullen. And it's a 2-1 game. Face-off results in a ground ball recorded by Colin O'Brien. And here comes Mullen, and then whistle's blown. There's going to be a timeout called. So Kevin O'Brien wants to take a timeout with his squad, and that's who we're going to zoom in and look at. Get a good peek at those Mustangs. They will talk amongst each other. That's the defensive crew. Over to the right of that huddle is the head coach, Kevin O'Brien. We can take a look. Gail's going to share that with you. Right in the middle there, the dark-haired gentleman. You can see the top of his head kind of looking this way. That is Kevin O'Brien, who's played a little lax in his day back at the University of Denver. We're very fortunate in Colorado to have all these great coaches with serious resumes, including Kevin O'Brien, who played at DU, and he's sure happy to send Aaron Boyd, who just scored for Mullen, to his alma mater next year. Matt Plechnick can match that. Played a little football at CU, but as far as his credibility, he's the guy who goes and coaches at the All-American games in Maryland every year. Again, we are fortunate here in the state as the game grows in the box state, Colorado, to have coaches like the two that are on the field right now. Mullen took the timeout. We'll see how they attack in the opposing zone here. That guy, Aaron Boyd, just scored at the 11:05 mark in the second quarter to cut the deficit in half. Mullen in blue, down 1. Boyd picks that up, and then he's checked for a moment. That shot is wide. Good hustle chasing him defensively was Mitchell Tiedemann, the sophomore. Mullen's going to keep it, though. About 10 minutes left here in this second quarter. A 2-1 game. Mullen looking to even things up. Low-scoring affair. Defense playing well. Offenses being very patient. Ground ball, and Jack Berger comes up with it to maintain the possession for the Mullen Mustangs. So nice piece of work by the sophomore. Here comes a shot, and that's a little high. Good trailing defense, Will Chislett for Columbine, but Boyd over the crossbar. You can take a peek at the highlight here. Right over the top. He was going left shoulder, trying to solve Beelman. Just enough disruption from the defense, and it goes wide. Mullen's going to keep the ball. So Boyd in the second quarter has decided he needs to be a lead senior. Saw him do so many great things, transitioning the ball as a passer, ground balls, being a part of the mix, playing defense. Here in the second quarter, Aaron Boyd on the attack. He has one goal, and now his team, Mullen, down one with possession. Cutter right side, and there's a save by Beelman. Nice job. Gavin Beelman, the junior, read that well with the crossing pass, able to shuffle feet and then seal off that far side and make the save. Great defense, Mullen. Jack Bergner chops the stick, creates the ground ball. Columbine able to get it, but then a timeout called. And we're going to have both these squads take a little break, and we'll take it along with them and come right back. 2-1 lead for Columbine. Back to Trailblazer Stadium after the squads took their timeout. 2-1 game. Columbine with the slimmest of leads. Glad to have you here from within Colorado and across the globe, technically, as we're on an online digital broadcast here. If you'd like to engage with us, there's my Twitter handle, at Marty Cesario. And then go ahead and hit up our executive producer, Phil Mildren, at Stream It Sports, If you want to react to the broadcast and to what these outstanding athletes are doing as we are live here from Lakewood, Colorado, west side of Denver at Trailblazers Stadium on a really nice night, especially if you're playing. It's 3 minutes short of 6 o'clock Mountain Time, 62 degrees, some overcasts affecting the look, but the guys enjoy this weather a lot as they're putting out the efforts out on that lax field. 2-1 lead for Columbine. Mullen trying to clear, unable to do so, intercepted by Nate Surd. And so the Rebels in the white jerseys and blue pants, gray helmets, have the 1-goal lead. Calling for it, and a shot, second level. Boy, that was nice work coming in. Robert Miner couldn't get that sidearm whip to get through the bear. Tristan Scott makes the save for Mullen. Mullen's having a little bit of trouble clearing, and eventually they get across with Patrick Fairman, and then a whistle blown. So Columbine will be awarded possession. As you can see the ball, Surd's going to go get it. Nate Surd's had his name called quite often in this first half of play. That's 2-2 with it. Shadowing him, Brock Young defensively, and eventually back to Dean Hives. Hives, the sophomore midi. He's going to go right wing. Back behind the cage. Careful, that's well defended there. Gabe Mean able to get to it. Good looking possession so far for Columbine. And then I jinxed them. Sorry, Rebs. Mean's going to stare at the ball, unhappy with that exchange. Matt Plicknick underneath directing traffic. That's Matt with the visor, white shirt, right about the 35-yard line there. Now fading off to the right side. Watching his defense defend. And the long pole. Bringing it up. Drake Gillis. Good pass to Gage Gillis, and very efficient clear for Mullen. So now they're in the attacking zone. Looks like a good one-on-one battle between Easton Hartman there and Richie Connell for a moment. Aaron Boyd has now captured the attention of everybody in the stadium. Might have seen Boyd going towards the ball, but excellent defense to deny that attempt. Braden Hogan doing a nice job for the Rebels defense, chasing down number 11. And 23, right in the middle of the screen, just hounding Aaron Boyd, the senior captain for Mullen. Good check to the chest. Defensively, Andy Stash results in a turnover, and Columbine's cleared. And immediately, way down low and behind the cage, bouncing around the ball carrier, Patrick Stottlemyre. 2 quick passes and a third. Back up to Nick Darrow, who has the lone 2 goals for the Columbine Rebels. Surd looking for an opportunity for a dodge and shoot situation, and it doesn't occur, so credit the defensive Mullen. And the Rebels will reset up top. They're going to work it around Gabe Mean. No shot attempts from Gabe Mean so far, just doing a great job quarterbacking his offense. Mean, the future Utah player.
Oh, okay.
Here's the charge by the Rebels, met by 3 different defenders. And a sidearm shot, mid-level. Beautiful piece of work. Nate Surd has scored for Columbine. Well, that's fitting because Surd has done pretty much everything throughout the course of the game. Now he got a shot off and able to score 2-2, about to come up at the bottom of your monitor there. 5:20 mark in the second quarter. Back up to a 2-goal lead for the Columbine Rebels. Nate Surd has scored for the Rebs. 3-1 lead for Columbine. Back to the face-off X. Hard not to notice Dylan Leidhart, that size, the high tops, and then the long hair. Pushes it back, and that's a face-off win for the specialist, the freshman for Columbine. Andy Stash, once again, unofficially, it's the 3rd time I've seen Stash able to get the ground ball right out of the face-off. That's great teamwork between Leinhart and Stash, and a timeout called on the field. 3-1 lead for Columbine. After the Nate Surd goal, we'll take a break on Stream It Sports. Columbine in control with a 2-goal lead, even up 5-minute marks. Marty Cesario on the call. Glad to have you here. Our director, Alex Weins, in firm command of this broadcast. Credit to him. Directing traffic, pushing me around. I like it. Gail Kakak is offering the visuals to you. Our executive producer, Phil Mildren. Enjoying this West Side lacrosse contest between familiar rivals. We got a number 4 team in the state in terms of RPI and Columbine, 6th in the polls. They have a 2-1 lead, a 3-1 advantage and possession of the ball. Mullen looking to make the run, a battle-tested squad in the Mustangs. looking to make the 5-game run to get a playoff berth. Here's a shot from Columbine. They score, and that is Gabe Mean with his first goal of the game.
Gabe Mean, number 37, scoring. Number 49, Darrell assisting.
Well, because I am a child, at some point, working the names, I was looking forward to Gabe Mean confronting the Bear in goal. And I even put that out on Twitter because, again, my immaturity is real high. And we finally got to witness that, and you're more enthused and happy about that situation if you're a Columbine Rebels fan, because that resulted in a Gabe Mean goal, his first of the game, at 4:40 in the second quarter, and now the largest lead for either squad in this game. Columbine is now up 4-1 here at Trailblazer Stadium. Clean take on the faceoff by Leinart. He's going to push forward. Leinart has been a beast on the faceoff X. Rebels up 3-1, about 4.5 left here in this second quarter. Players looking for cutters, reset up top. Now to the near wing and back up top again. Speaking of quarterbacking, nice job by Darrow, just distributing left and right from up top. Darrow, the junior midi, with 2 goals in the game. Columbine currently sitting pretty up top of the Jeffco League standings. They've got a big one coming up against Lewis Palmer on May 1st. They've got a few big ones coming up. Lewis Palmer on May 1st, and then Wheat Ridge on the 5th to finish off the regular season. That'll help the Rebels find out about themselves. But the LP game, likely for the Jefferson County League title. That'll be on May 1st. Here we are on the 24th of April. The late, call it the last third of the regular season. Pair of squads, different situations, but everybody looking to show well and have momentum going into the upcoming playoffs. All squads in the state have dreams of making it to Mile High. That's the side of the championships each and every year. This will be my 6th year calling the championships. Honored. 4-1 lead Columbine. Turnover forced. Defense for the Rebels looking good. Quick clear by the Rebels. Far side, Gabe Mean, who scored the most recent goal at the 4:40 mark. Mean and Surd have goals for Columbine. Darrell has 2. The lone goal, Aaron Boyd for the Mullen Mustangs. Right now the Mustangs in blue defending and down 3 here in the second quarter at Trailblazer. Everybody's been patient in the attacking zone throughout the first half here, but now Columbine with a 3-goal lead. Certainly no sense of urgency. Here comes a shot, and that's a score! The whip from up top, David Dooley, the junior midi, has made it 5-1 Columbine. That was one strong-looking cartoon. Crank, 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 and then release. Able to get through the goaltender. Bear couldn't find that one. 2:15 mark, second quarter. First goal of the game for David Dooley. And now a 5-1 lead for the Columbine Rebels. Leinart, face-off win? Yes. So Dylan Leinart continues to do very well on that face-off X. And that's good. One of the values of having a broadcast here on Stream It Sports, and we don't joke about it, is you get to showcase yourself just like that. Nate Surd has scored again, his second of the game. As we look at the highlight. Surd wanted to work with the thought I was trying to share was anybody can watch this live and then eventually on demand on the YouTube channel for Stream It Sports. This is a great opportunity to create awareness of yourself and your squad to those who may be observing. Those people may be decision makers at next level athletic programs. Wink. Am I being subtle? Likely not. Nate Surd, 149, second quarter. Columbine now up 6-1 in the contest. So Surd has 2 goals, as does Nick Darrow.
At the other end, the Mullen goal, Johnny Groh, number 32, from Aaron Boyd, number 11.
Johnny Groh doesn't care if I'm trying to record my summary here. Darrow for Mullen. Or pardon me, Johnny Groh for Mullen. Quickly counters the Surd goal. And so 134 mark second quarter. Johnny Groh gets the second goal of the game for the Mullen Mustangs. Good work for number 32, the junior midi. Johnny Groh, key role player for Mullen all year long. Able to get on the board. So the spread is 4. Leinhart throws the changeup, and Leinhart is hurt. I think he took a pull to his Adam's apple. Play is going to continue. Mullen in the attacking zone eventually will have the whistle for the injury. We'll give you a quick look at Leinhart just to let you peek at him real fast, and then we'll keep an eye on him and we'll go ahead and take the break. That's Dylan Leinhart, the freshman, on the ground. Columbine up 4. This is Stream It Sports. Well, there's good news. You can see 3-2 right there. Even a smile on his face as he has an exchange with his head coach, Matt Plitnick. Dylan Leinhart having a monster game on the faceoff X. Took a stick to the throat, and that must have made him seize up just a little bit, fell to the ground, and see the size of that kid. It's not going to take a little piece of contact to drop him to the ground, so that was a forceful hit to the Adam's apple. Well, the good news is he's smiling now. He's on the sideline. 99.9% chance we're going to see that kid again. Doubt you can keep him off the field. So Leinhart is looking pretty good. I peeked back over off the sidelines off camera. Meanwhile, Mullen able to get a goal from Johnny Groh at the 134 mark. We're looking to be successful in that possession and get one on the board, and we're not. As you see, the defense, Beelman, the goaltender, getting it defenseman back to Beelman. Beelman's going to push forward. He's having a nice two-man game there with Andy Stash, his junior defenseman. We'll see if the Rebels can get a shot off before we enter the halftime intermission. Gonna have to curl on that and get a shot off. Back to Gabe Mean. He gets popped. Ball loose. Ground ball. Come the Mustangs. They're not going to get one off themselves. That's just too much distance. And we will hear the PA, Devin Robb, announce halftime. And there you see it on the board. Columbine up 4 as we take the halftime break at Trailblazers Stadium in Lakewood. Officials on the center of your screen there, getting ready for the second half of this West Side contest, an MLAX affair at Trailblazers Stadium in Lakewood, Colorado. Marty Cesario, along with executive producer Phil Mildren, Alex Weins directing, Gail Kakak giving you the visuals. On the public address is Devin Robb. Glad to have you here with us. Entertaining contest if you like methodical, patient offensive attack and then some excellent defense. The upper hand for the Columbine Rebels, as you see on your gorgeous score bug up top there. 6-2 lead for the number 6 team in the state. Quick scoring summary, I can spit that out. 2 goals by Nick Darrow early on. That was at 10:28, 9:27 to make it a 2-0 Rebels lead. Aaron Boyd scored for Mullen at 11:05 in the second quarter. Then Nate Surd, Gabe Mean, and David Dooley. Then Nate Surd again, his second, 4 consecutive goals for the Columbine Rebels in the second. Then Johnny Groh able to put one in for Mullen at the 1:34 mark in the second to give us this score. We have 6-2 to the face-off X as we get the third quarter underway here at Trailblazers Stadium in Lakewood, Colorado. Glad to have you with us. A production of Stream It Sports. Ground ball, chaos. Familiar for me to call out Andy Stash's name as he's able to go get that ball off the ground. Stash had been working so well on the face-offs with his teammate Dylan Leinhart. This time, that's all you for Andy, the junior D. And creates a possession here to open up the second half for the Columbine Rebels. Gabe Mean has a goal in this game, pushing it back up top to Nick Darrow, who has 2 in the contest. 4-goal advantage, Columbine. Right wing surge, good defense by Dom Jablonski. Thwarts the attempt. Here's a center cutter and a goal. Columbine has scored again. And we'll give that to Patrick Stottlemyre, the junior attackman for the Rebels. Here it is. Dodge. Mean finds the cutter. Stottlemyre gets it through over the right shoulder of the goaltender. And now a 7-2 lead for the Columbine Rebels as you get a good look of Patrick Stottlemyre wearing those headstrong laces. So Stottlemyre at exactly the 11-minute mark of the third quarter, able to spread that lead, largest of the game for Columbine, now with a 7-2 advantage. First in the game for Stottlemyre. Mullen wins that face-off. Aaron Boyd has it, and he's going to wait for situation substitutions. Maybe a trailer coming through. One cut to the middle, center slot. Couldn't find Elijah Ruth. Now Mullen's going to work with it. Back around behind the cage. There's a flag coming for a cross check. Mullen keeps possession. Tough defense there physical play defensively on the part of Brock Harmon. So the ball hits the ground. That stops play here. Look at Harmon, 2-8. Good job attacking the stick and using body. But Columbine is going to suffer a penalty, just the second penalty of this contest. And so it's a man-up situation for the Mullen Mustangs. Opportunity here for Mullen to get back to within 4. Again, Mullen is man up in the blue jerseys with possession. Where is the hole to exploit? On the attack there, Jack Berger dropped a level, tried to go with the left-hand sidearm. It was a little wide, but Mullen's going to keep possession. Is trotting over there to go get it. There's the junior attack, Richie Connell. And now Mullen's going to reset up top. Still man up Mullen. Down 5 in the game. Getting it low. Bottom level shot there. Crafty piece of work on the release by Elijah Ruth, but a better save by the junior goalie, Gavin Bielman, as Columbine clears as we move left to right. Those pretty pictures from Gail Kakak. Darrow eating up a lot of space on foot as a ball carrier. He's got it again. Mean over to Stottlemyre. Each of those players I just named have scored in this game. Andy Stash certainly earned the right to take a shot attempt, and he will, and a save by the Bear, Tristan Scott. So good work by Tristan Scott there, who will be playing at the next level at Wheeling Jesuit College. You know, it's a good story from Kevin O'Brien talking about Tristan Scott in goal. They just played Cherry Creek and got hammered, that's fair to say, 17-2. But Kevin O'Brien, the head coach for Mullen, wanted to point out that score could have been far worse if it wasn't for the magnificent play of his goaltender, Tristan Scott. Scott got peppered all game long against the #1 team in the state in Cherry Creek. We have a timeout. We'll take it. It's a 5-goal lead for Columbine. Good look at a confident squad, number 6 in the state in the polls, 4th in the RPI, and they have a 5-goal lead in this contest. Those are the Columbine Rebels, a team that likes the way this 2017 season is evolving. They've had 1 semifinals appearance. That was back in 2013 under head coach Matt Plechnick, who's on the bottom there, left side of your screen. Right now, 9-2 on the season, 5-0 in the Jeffco League. Have an opportunity to win a conference title, and they're looking to become one of those Final Four. The way it sets out in 5A lacrosse in the state so far, you've got 3 teams that I think you guarantee, and that would be Cherry Creek, Regis, and Mountain Vista. Who's the 4th in the Final Four? And that's up for debate. When you talk about Arapahoe, Kent, Denver, Columbine is certainly in that conversation. Of course, no guarantees, but the way it's been laying out, and then you look at program history, I think it's fair to say Creek, Visca, and RJ, they're the cream of the crop. We're looking for the 4th. Columbine definitely should be entered in that conversation when we talk about who could be the fourth. Meanwhile, Mullen working a roll off that far wing and then a jump shot on the attempt by Jack Bergner, a save by Beelman. And Mullen's going to keep possession. Unable to score in the recent man up. There's a shot and it's over the cage, too high. Beelman saw it and recognized it. Mullen's going to keep possession of the ball. Down 5, under 8 to play, third quarter. There's a ride defensively. Still got the shot off, so good work by Jack Bergner there. I like the defense. Which in a 7-2 game, this deep into the contest, probably intuitive that you can figure out there's some good defense out there. Especially if you were the guys in white, the Rebels, yielding just 2 goals so far in this game. Rebels working that far wing and then quickly reverse it back over this side. Darrow looks to go high. Great job attacking the stick. Drake Gillis, the future CC player, the senior defenseman, doing a good job. There's a spin and back to X position behind the cage. Columbine working with it. Nate Surt has 2 goals in this game. Finds a cutter. Here's a shot behind the back. Pretty goal by Gabe Mean. And it's going to be weighed off. It never went in. It looked like it went into me. You know what? The art of post-production, we can make that happen. So no goal by Gabe Mean. Gorgeous attempt. And it stays 7-2. For entertainment value, try it again, guys. Of course, that's not funny if you're a Mullen fan. Right now, the Mustangs trying to play defense. And a big surge offensively to, at minimum, tie up this game. That shot is wide to the stick side of Tristan Scott. Columbine is going to keep it. And there's an unforced error resulting in a ground ball that GB recorded by the now racing downfield Aaron Boyd. Boyd has one of the 2 goals for Mullen. Now the Mustangs settle back. Trying to get Johnny Groh in there, waiting for, there he goes, streaking across the screen. Needed to get one of the long poles off the field. Kevin O'Brien and his staff, including Clark Wood, directing their attack right now. Good little battle there between Stash and Aaron Boyd. Mullen's being patient, looking to get successes, small steps. That sidearm shot rises up and over the top of the cage. Jack Berger with another attempt. Max Epstein had it for a moment. Now he's going to send it back up top. Pardon me, that was Nate Hart working behind the cage. Ooh, there's a nice flick of the pass. Took a shot on the hand, too, trying to shake it off. That was a good pass from Richie Connell. Resulted in a shot attempt that was deflected by one of the D-men for Columbine. Mustangs with a lengthy possession here, looking for the payoff by putting a goal on the board. Great check from behind. Outstanding defense. The crowd reacted. Brock Harmon doing great work there for the Rebels defensively. Under 4 to play here, third quarter. Columbine with the 5-goal lead and possession. Nice reaction we just witnessed. Way to get back in the play. Brock Harmon was beat on the dodge, but knocked the ball loose. Here's Gabe Mean attacking. Trickery on the release. Gabe not happy that I called out a goal after a beautiful behind-the-back shot. Looked like it went into me. I was incorrect by far. But that would have been an outstanding highlight on digital television here. Man-up situation for the Columbine Rebels here. Man up and up 5 on the scoreboard. Nice position to be in as Gabe Mean tries to go the near side on a tough angle. Tristan Scott with a very nice save there. Scott's seen a lot of shot attempts in his last 2 games. Against the #1 team, Cherry Creek, in their previous contests. And here, those shots on goal seem to be picking up as we advance through the 3rd quarter. Columbine seems to be trying new things on their possessions, including creative shots from Gabe Mean. Two and a half left, 3rd quarter, working it around. That is an outstanding save by Tristan Scott. Laser shot away from the stick, and somehow at shoulder level, Tristan Scott gets his head up in the air to make that save. That was beautiful. Have to give him credit.
Ball to Columbine.
Meanwhile, we go back down the field and Mullen loses possession quickly. The Rebels are going to have it. Let's look at this. Look at Mean. He goes high, away from the head, shoulder high, and somehow Scott able to get his stick over there to make the save. It's a good look. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. It's part of why he'll be playing at the next level. He will be a collegiate lacrosse player after he graduates at Wheeling Jesuit. Kind of lost our rhythm here in the last 30 seconds of clock time. A couple of missed exchanges, a couple of whistles,
There is an
2 penalties.
penalty on the Mullen bench. It is a 2-minute non-releasable penalty.
And we'll trust the public address who is trying to get a read from the head official. It's a conduct penalty called against Mullen. And now I'm eavesdropping through my headphones. It was about something said. And it wasn't something nice that was said. Lead You to Believe shows a little sign of frustration for Mullen coming into this very positive, even though they got beat 17-2 by Cherry Creek, #1. Kevin O'Brien was very positive coming into this. Had a rivalry game. Wouldn't be hard to get them jacked up emotionally. Speaking of Mullen, because they know Columbine players so well. Looking to make the run towards earning a playoff berth. Mean hits the post. Crowd groans. Darrow gets it in. Crowd gets loud. Enjoying that 3rd goal, a hat trick for Nick Darrow, the junior midfielder for Columbine. There was a good look. Number 40 having a nice game for the Columbine Rebels. Nick Darrow. Goal number 3 at 1:38 in the 3rd quarter. Darrow looking good. I've mentioned some of the other players who will have opportunities to play collegiately. Nick Darrow is one of them, and I've yet to point out in this game he'll be playing for Mercer University, so he'll be a Bear once he graduates. He's a commit to Mercer. Fast and shifty player, making plays in this game for us. Hopefully you're enjoying the entertainment if you are a Nick Darrow fan. He's got 3 goals in the game, 1:38 third quarter. Darrow scores again. Columbine now has a 6-goal lead. And they win the faceoff. And now have possession again. One brutal element you like about the game of lacrosse, it's make it take it if you can win that faceoff. And that's just what happened. And it has been occurring a lot here in this game. That shot's way wide off the stick of Darrow. Means going to go get it. Side of the net from Gabe Mean, trying to get his second goal, and it doesn't happen. Well, you see that passing, though. Columbine very confident right now with the 6-goal lead. They're feeling it, kind of clicking there in the attack zone, just whipping the ball around to each other. Mullen working with it right now. Richie Connell, the junior attackman, gets one off. And that's going to be very wide, but Mullen's going to keep possession. J.P. Starkey, a freshman attacker. Unable to get a pass off, and then a shot attempt from Mullen, and that's how we're going to finish up the third quarter. So Darrow scores his third. Columbine in control, up 6 here on Stream It Sports. Fourth quarter, guys to the X. See the freshman Dylan Leinhardt, who's been outstanding, high percentage in terms of his effectiveness out there. 32 right side. Going to battle right in the middle there, try to get possession of the ball. He'll be with the senior captain from Mullen, Aaron Boyd. Right now, Boyd and his buddies from Mullen High have to make a big rush. Down 6 goals in this contest. Well, there's a good start. Ground ball. Picked up for a moment from Walker Sorrells, pardon me. But the senior couldn't keep it for very long, and now we've got mass chaos to the near side on the left side of your screen.
Now a timeout has been called.
Coach Plitnick is going to have a discussion with one of his freshmen, and quickly like that, we've got 18 seconds in, and we take a timeout. We'll go ahead and eavesdrop on Coach Plitnick. Again, wearing the Dockers. He's got the blue visor on and the white shirt. next to Jackson Trail, his freshman attacker. Plitnick, big advocate for the game here in the state of Colorado and also has connections abroad. I hinted earlier that part of the Under Armour All-American Games that happen annually. It's also, let's give some love. That young man with the crutch is Matthew Georgiades, a senior midi, who's talking to Coach Plitnick right now. Matt, I had a quick talk with him, and you hate to hear those. The first thing I always ask is, what year are you? Because what I want to hear is that you're not a senior. And he is, in fact, a senior. He's got a right foot Achilles problem. Thinks he may be back, but we wish the best for Matt Georgiades. Thank you, Gail. Appreciate that. Got a chance to give some love to a young man who's unable to participate on live digital television.
I do. They stand right on the crease.
So an 11.5 left in this contest, and a 6-goal spread in favor of the guys in white. Gabe Mean takes a shot, and that's in. Mean finds the twine, his second goal of the game, and now the Rebels are up 9-2. Gabe Mean has been deliberate with his shot attempts. Whatever it is, he wanted a second goal in this game. We saw that, and he finally able to get one through. There's a good look at some of the Rebels players, including Gabe Mean, 37 in the white. So 11:23 mark in the fourth quarter. Gabe Mean scores his second. Now a 9-2 lead for Columbine. Columbine's looking good to collect their 10th win of the season. Coming off a loss, great experience. They played over at Barton Stadium in DU, but lost to the number 2 team in the state in Regis Jesuit, 12-5. That was on Saturday. From here, Columbine has a date with Bear Creek, and then that big game against Lewis Palmer, and then the finale, the annual grudge match with the Wheat Ridge Farmers to finish off the regular season. Columbine will have playoff plans. We just don't know what variety. Currently sitting 4th in the ERPIs, the RPI computations, 6th in the polls. Coach Kevin O'Brien said he wanted 4 out of 5 and he'd feel comfortable earning a playoff berth. It looks like they're going to take a loss here. Still 10 minutes to play. This is sports. Anything can happen. And right on cue, there's a good start for Richie Connell. So 14, Richie Connell scores at 10-10. I kind of baited him, didn't I? I mean, it's so early, you don't call it a game yet. So Richie Connell puts it in. 3rd goal of the game, Richie Connell's first. That was a nice shot, too, as you saw on the replay for the junior attack for the Mullen Mustangs. A lot of young guys in terms of experience and actual class designation for the Mullen Mustangs. You don't want to think too far ahead, but Mullen has been taking their lumps, as Coach described. It's going to be a team to watch for sure next year in a program that you expect to be one of the top 10, top 15, especially with a coaching staff like Mullen has. That really essentially, Kevin O'Brien and his staff only in their 2nd year with Mullen, so they're building what they want to do in terms of their 5-10 year plan. Kind of ran out of space, and Nate Surd ran himself into a kind of an odd angle. Didn't want to take it with the left. Switch it over to the right shoulder. That shot went wide. The good thing for Columbine is Gabe Mean has it. Columbine's going to keep possession. See how they counter after yielding a goal to Richie Connell at 10-10 in the fourth quarter.
Ball to Mullen.
Might have heard the crowd react to that. That pass smelled funny. Oh. Fun for parents as they're reacting here on site. And again, thank you so much for watching this game. I take that as you supporting the game and these guys as they get a unique opportunity in the game of lacrosse at the high school level to be on a global digital broadcast that looks just right in high definition right here on Stream It Sports. You can engage with the Stream It Sports if you'd like at Stream It Sports on the Twitter if you wish. Also, if you just go straight to the website, streamitsports.com, you can harass the administration with Stream It Sports or give them love, either way. Just exchange feedback. Mullen's going to keep it on their possession here, 8-minute mark. Final quarter here at Trailblazers Stadium. The clouds have burned off a little bit here in this late afternoon, deep and heading towards dusk. We're 6 minutes short of 7 o'clock Mountain Time and get a little bit more sunshine peeking through. Mullen seems to be taking their time, being patient. Just looking for good possessions to work with. Shot attempt by Boyd. Deflected. That was some good help coming over. Peyton Winters looked like he had primary assignment on Boyd and deflected the shot by Boyd, so we'll give 18 some credit there. The long pole packed deep next to his goaltender Beelman. But Mullen keeps it, and there's Boyd again. Takes contact. And then a missed exchange as they try to send it down low, so Columbine will be awarded the possession. Under 7 to play and a 6-goal spread in favor of the Columbine Rebels. So we look at Columbine advance with Gabe Mean, who has 2 goals in the game, over to Nick Darrow, who has 3 goals in the contest. And they've got themselves a 6-goal lead and looking to finish off this last 6.5 minutes or so and go double digits in the victory column for the season and continue to build that nice resume heading into the playoffs. Left side, a nice shot attempt, mid-level by Dean Hives, and a good save from Tristan Scott. And now some trouble and a ground ball. The whistle's going to be blown, and you can see the official awarding the possession to Mullen. More harassing defense. Results in a ground ball. That D was provided by junior midi Robert Miner, and now a timeout on the field with a 6-goal advantage for the Columbine Rebels. We'll take a break here on Stream It Sports.
guys are going to run 2 laps again.
Another outstanding look at center field, just off to the left here. You can see the glare off the bleachers across the way as we look to the east here at Trailblazer Stadium in Lakewood, Colorado. Some other squads. This is a doubleheader night. A lot of lacrosse gets played here on this field. I saw some Dakota Ridge Eagles fly by me, so I know Dakota's involved in the nightcap here at Trailblazer. But here, with about 5.5 left in the game, Columbine is in firm command of this contest. Mullen has the ball right now in the blue jerseys, and doing a nice job under head coach O'Brien, really not being urgent about it, looking for good possessions, efficient possessions, get some goals on the board as they look forward on their schedule. Mullen next will be taking on Overland's young program, and then they go Grandview, Rock Canyon, Cherokee Trail to finish off the year. Shot from up top is a little wide, off stick against Beelman. Gavin goes to get it immediately. And to help him out, Braden Hogan, the freshman D, receives and clears it all on his own. There you go, Frosch has some quicks. Covers a lot of space on that long stride, too. That was impressive. Boy, some sticks interlocked there. Kind of like two bulls up in the mountains, engaged and can't get loose from themselves. Eventually, Colin O'Brien able to come out with it. One of the top leaders for the Mustangs. So no surprise, the long pole. O'Brien does a good job there in the chaos. And meanwhile, a tally is on the board for the Mullen Mustangs. And guess who? 1-1. Aaron Boyd scores his second for Mullen. He's a smooth operator, Aaron Boyd. He's got 2 goals in the game, 4:16 mark here in the fourth quarter. The second for Aaron Boyd, the future pioneer for the University of Denver. So Boyd has 2 after scoring at 4:16 in the fourth. Mullen within 5. About 4 minutes left. How about that work from Mitchell Tiedman? That ground ball was won by Mullen, but Tiedman attacked the stick, popped ball loose, and got the possession for his team. He's going to get a little bit of love from his coaching staff. Meanwhile, Rebels working around. Hustling to get into the play, Robert Miner. Surd saw the defensive help, elected to get it back. And then a shot attempt is blocked by Tristan Scott. The goal will be awarded to the Columbine Rebels. I didn't even get a read on who poked that in. The replay will help us out. Up in the air, off the pole, and actually the ball had its own set of eyeballs and found its way into the twine. So that's interesting. You would award the goal to whoever that initial shot attempt came from. Is it possible to look at it again? Let's look one more time. There it is, 1-1. Stottlemyre will credit him the goal. Nice work. Thanks, Alice. And look, Alex gets us the replay for the second time, and immediately Gail gets us the face-off look. So we will credit that to Patrick Stottlemyre. That's his second of the game. We'll call it 3:21 in the fourth quarter. Columbine now has reached double digits in scoring in this game. 10-4 lead Rebels after the Stottlemyre unorthodox goal. It was magic. .245 on the clock. Can Mullen put one or two on the board? Get that good feeling heading to their next game in 2 days against Overland. That's a winnable game for the Mullen Mustangs.
They get a kick for the Overland going, in front of the push.
Overland, a growing program. I'm not discrediting them, but using reality. I do, by the way, I thought it was cool on Twitter. Cherry Creek, a few games ago, had done what you would expect against Overland, and Brian Perry for Cherry Creek was tweeting so much love for Overland, and I thought that was just kind of a neat show of sportsmanship. I'm trying to say nice things. Meanwhile, Richie Connell is doing good things and scores again. So 1-4, Richie Connell for the Mullen Mustangs gets his second of the contest and gets the Mullen Mustangs within 5. 2:11, fourth quarter. That guy, Richie Connell, scores again for Mullen. Good work for the junior. He's been productive. Now with a couple of goals.
He was like fire fingers typing English, and he always gets out of the test and everything because he doesn't know English.
That's appropriate. Because in the second half, Colin O'Brien's been doing a nice job on the faceoff backs. Here's a shot off the post. It's wide. Goes out of bounds, and Mullen's going to keep it. So credit the work of the junior, Colin O'Brien, winning the faceoff and then going to get the ground ball. They transition quickly near the goal, get a shot off. It hits the cage, the near side pole. Here come the Rebels. And ball's on the ground. They're going to chase. Thought for a moment there the freshman Jackson Trail was going to make a dive for it just to get near. Trail has it right now, number 2, the freshman. 75 seconds left in this West Side lacrosse contest. Two old rivals. Shot goes through, and there's another hat trick now. Nate Surd joins Nick Darrow amongst the athletes with a hat trick in scoring this evening. 22 right there, Nate Surd. The junior midi now has goal number 3, scoring at 1:05 in the fourth quarter. 11-5 lead, Columbine.
It's still working.
Well, as Coach Plitnick described, a lot of different contributors. I've got 5 different Columbine players who have scored in this game. And then you got a couple of guys who've really extended the team effort into some outstanding personal efforts, and Nick Darrow and Nate Surd, who each have 3 goals in the game. 30 seconds left, roughly. And Columbine's going to walk away with their 10th victory of the season. They will play Bear Creek next, right here. Then they will finish off their season with 2 monster contests. Perhaps the conference decision maker against Lewis Palmer on May 1st. And then the huge rivalry game with the Farm from Wheat Ridge on May 5th. Mullen next at Overland in 2 days. Then they'll play Grandview, Rock Canyon, Cherokee Trail. And there is the siren, and that's the end of the game. Final score 11-5. Nate Surd scores 3. Nick Darrow scores 3. Columbine with the big win, number 6 team in the state. It's now 10-2 on the season with, again, an 11-5 victory over the rivals from the west side, the Mullen Mustangs. I want to thank Gail Kakak for her outstanding visuals, working the camera to get us the right looks. Thanks to Alex Weins, who commanded this broadcast with authority. And then, of course, executive producer Phil Mildren. I've been Marty Cesario. Again, congratulations to the Columbine Rebels, now 10-2 after the 11-5 win over Mullen. Good night from Trailblazers Stadium in Lakewood.
Yeah. Well, it's close.